I got her a second time. She preloaded a yawn, or she just yawned right before I was about to start. But I managed to get her a second time with the yawn. That's
you could have
rude.
just let my yawn trigger yours.
Oh yeah,
Could have done that.
and then you would have been responsible for the yawning and stuff. Okay. Well, honey, are you ready to learn more about Jesus and the Bible today?
Oh, can't wait. This is Parable Day, isn't it?
It is. We got a gish gallop of parables.
Woot.
Yes. So last time, for those of you that don't know, Jesus said that everyone needed to fear God because God is going to send you to hell if you don't mind him. And he also goes into some rich shaming. Republicans were really upset by that, but they take it with a grain of salt. He talks about Jesus, talks about how he's going to come, giggity, all over the place and burn everyone in hell for eternity if they don't get with the program quick. Also, Jesus ended everything by saying that he's going to pit mothers against daughters and sons against fathers in a no-holds-barred cage match hosted by John Cena.
I knew where you're going.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, well, I mean, he is hosting that SummerSlam thing for Jesus in this particular story, so, yeah. I mean, we all know this. Anyways, so today, Jesus is going to be talking all cryptic and talking parables and basically explain how Christianity is a mystery cult. He's also going to be talking about seeds and growing seeds. You're going to mistake this for a podcast about, like, gardening. Yeah, a gardening podcast, but we're not talking about gardening. Jesus is talking about making people believe in his bullshit. Then Jesus says that non-believers are really being controlled by Satan when they try to get you to question the magical Jew theology. Also, he's going to explain why some people won't buy his bullshit sometimes. And then Jesus follows it up by telling everyone that the scriptures are the ones that told him to speak cryptically in parables, and that's the only reason why he fucking did all this.
This sounds like a bunch of apologist shit right here.
I mean, it does. I mean, yeah, preachers and I guess apologists, they all seem to heavily rely on parables and teaching by way of stories and stuff. So it definitely does seem like something that you would hear coming out of an apologist / preacher's mouth. So that's gonna be it for the podcast today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I mean, we learned a lot about Jesus.
No, we got to read the parables.
What?
Yeah, we got to read the parables.
But it's all about how you can grow mustard seed and flowers, and then you got to do the weeding and stuff. And for some reason, you got to burn the weeds. I don't know.
It's just the easiest way to get rid of them.
Oh, yeah. For some reason, he suggests chewing on the weeds, too. So I don't know why that was a thing.
I don't understand that either.
What's up, heathens?
How y'all doing?
So, obviously I was wrong about a couple of things. John Cena's not here this week, but I mean, that was pretty on the nose for last week.
Yeah.
Jesus recorded it and everything, and it's going to be pay-per-view on.
Oh, okay. If you say so.
I mean, I do say so.
Okay.
But today we've got parables, and I will leave it to the parable master, KC, over there.
Oh, no, I'm not a parable master. I'm just reading. I'm literate.
You're literate. Okay.
Yeah. So are you ready to talk about these to just go ahead and read these parables and talk about them?
Sure.
Okay. The parables that we're going through are in Matthew, Mark, and Luke. John totally dropped the ball on parables.
Oh, John, like not me, but okay, I got it. The Gospel of John just was like, fuck parables.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So all of this we're going to read is from Matthew, Mark, and Luke.
Yeah. That's because the Gospel of John has a Jesus that's more like, he breaks down the door and he's like, I'm Jesus, motherfuckers. Praise me and suck my dick. And I mean, that's the Jesus in John.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, not in those exact words, but I was just taking small liberties with
small liberties.
Very tiny liberties.
Minute alterations to the
Some
details.
might say mushroom-headed kind of liberties.
Are you ready to start?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're starting with the parable of the sower.
Fuck the sower. I mean, let's figure.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Sorry, I jumped the gun on fucking the sower.
This particular parable is in Matthew, Mark, and Luke. So you ready?
Yeah.
That same day, Jesus went out of the house, and that same day is the same day as he was talking to all of the people. I mean, this happens every time, right? But he just healed that stooped over woman.
Oh yeah, the woman that was possessed by the demon.
Yeah.
that caused her to have a bad back.
Yeah, it's the same day as that.
The bad back demon.
Yeah. So that's where we are. Such large crowds gathered around him that he got into a boat and sat in it while all the people stood on the shore.
Isn't that a weird sort of scene right there? Like, Jesus just gets in a boat and he's just looking at the crowd of people, and the crowd of people are looking at him. And he's like, I'm not a fucking trick dog over here or whatever.
I'm pretty
like,
sure
I'm not a circus dog. Fuck.
A circus elephant. But yes, he is. I mean, that's what he is.
Yeah. I mean, they have dogs in circuses.
Or a circus bear.
Huh?
Do they?
They have dogs in circuses. They'll have dogs that'll...
It's been since I was a very small child that I went to a circus. I have ethically opposed circuses for many, many years. So.
Yeah, my mom never really liked taking me to either circuses or fairs, because she always had this whole thing in her head that the like any of the rides at the fairs were just going to break down and kill me like on the spot.
I mean, it's not.
I mean, have you seen some of the fair rides? They've been in service for 20 or more years. Like, I don't know. I understand my mom's apprehension being an adult now.
And I'm not sure what the safety regulations are, what the qualifications are, the people who put them together or anything like that. I don't think this is like super professionally run. But anyways, so I think this is interesting how they describe this, because, we're reading the daily Bible, which has commentary in gray boxes like throughout. We don't normally read the commentary, but in the commentary of this section, the author is talking about how Jesus teaches quietly, like how he quietly teaches his disciples and he quietly teaches people. He's a great teacher in his instructing methods and how he's a quiet teacher. I think that's ridiculous, because what they describe is fucking chaos. It's like big ass rally kind of bullshit that they describe.
Oh yeah, total Trump rally type things. Like,
it's why, like, there's no quiet teaching here.
Yeah, I mean, like, everybody's holding up, let's go Christopher signs, because they for some reason named Satan Christopher. Sorry, Christophers out there.
Okay. So let's continue. These large crowds, not quietly, right? Except he's in a boat, so they're going to have to be quiet, I guess, so they can hear him, because he's like, there's too many fucking people. I'm getting in a boat. Y'all don't understand social distancing.
There's got to be one motherfucker with a long ass stick that's poking Jesus, being like, do something.
Maybe. All right. Then he told them many things in parables, saying, a farmer went out to sow his seed. As he was scattering the seeds, some fell along the path and the birds came and ate it up. Some fell on rocky places where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly because the soil was shallow, but when the sun came up, the plants were scorched and they withered because they had no root. Other seeds fell among the thorns, which grew up and choked the plants. Still other seed fell on good soil, where it produced a crop, 100, 60, or 30 times what was sown. Whoever has ears, let them hear. So we're going to hear in a little bit, this parable is actually explained to the disciples separately.
Yeah, but I feel like, sorry, go ahead.
But it seems fairly self-explanatory.
I feel like it does, but of course the disciples are dipshits. So, but like that last sentence there, whoever has ears, let them hear.
Yeah,
like,
we're going to get into that a little more.
I feel like he needs to go to some sensitivity training, because like, what if there's people out there without ears, but they still want to hear the shit? And all they have to do is cup their hands and they can still hear shit, I mean,
unless they're deaf.
I mean, they could be deaf, but just because like they don't have the outer ear part, mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're deaf. They would have trouble hearing, but I mean, it would just be like a little cup action there.
Sure.
I just think Jesus needs some sensitivity training.
I don't know how much of a problem this is. Like, how many people are running around in this? Is this like common in this time?
I mean, in
this part of the world where lots of people don't have ears.
I mean, I don't know. In the Garden of Gethsemane, that was the first thing that one of his disciples cuts off that Roman soldier. So, I mean, maybe.
Fair.
He cut off his ears so he can't hear. Go fuck yourself and burn in hell.
So are you ready to continue to learn the purpose of the parable, even though it seems fairly self-explanatory? If you throw seeds on a path, it's not going to grow. If you put it in good soil, it's going to grow better. Like, I mean, that seems reasonable. And even when you apply it to people in scripture and religion, it seems fairly obvious, but ready for Jesus to tell us about it?
Yeah, because his disciples are ditchshits. I'm ready for that.
So the disciples came to him and asked, why do you speak to the people in parables? He replied, because the knowledge of the secrets of the kingdom of heaven has been given to you, but not to them, which I'm going to contest because they don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So clearly they do not have the knowledge.
Right.
Right. He says, whoever has will be given more, and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have, will be taken from them. This is why I speak to them in parables. Seems like a trap. But
it's
also,
a trap.
But also, it seems kind of this kind of blows the whole socialist Jesus idea out of the water, because it's totally capitalist. People who have will have more; they'll be given more, more and more and more. And anybody who doesn't have, even the very minimal things that they do have, will take from them. That seems weird.
This is very Republican Jesus right here for sure.
Yeah, it's also strange because if you want people to have the knowledge and be saved and be, part of the kingdom of God, why would you hide the meanings of things from them? Why would you set them up for failure? Why would you take away instead of give more knowledge so that they have the true knowledge of the universe and the whole world and everything and morals and all those things? Why wouldn't you make that super obvious and abundantly abundant?
Well, because you got to buy into the next level of it in order to get access to that. And then there's going to be even more knowledge.
Oh, so how Scientology does it.
Kind of, yeah.
You have to give them money so that you get the next level of understanding.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jesus isn't asking for money necessarily right here, but he is definitely asking you to sell your soul to him.
Well, I mean, we'll get a little more into this, but this is part of the concept of you have to believe to see. Seeing is not believing to see, which is kind of how how Santa Claus works.
Right.
Okay. He continues, though seeing, they do not see. Though hearing, they do not hear or understand. In them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah. You will be ever hearing, but never understanding. You will be ever seeing, but never perceiving. For this people's hearts has become calloused. They hardly hear with their ears, and they have closed their eyes. Otherwise, they might see with their eyes and hear with their ears, understand with their hearts, and in turn, I would heal them.
So, I mean, if we were reading this and thinking about ancient religions and all this other stuff, this is basic mystery cult kind of speak here, because what you have, like in the Isis and Osiris cult, you have forward facing stories about Isis and Osiris that place them historically in history, on Earth, but in the private messages, those are things that people can understand from the stories that are told about them. But the secret teachings, Jesus has secret teachings, and
he literally says,
right,
the knowledge of the secrets of the kingdom of heaven.
Right. And so these secret teachings that Jesus is going to be giving his disciples is the secret knowledge that only those that are initiated into the cult are allowed to have. So you, like you were saying, you have to believe before you're, given any kind of evidence, or before you're given the knowledge. You have to believe in it first in order to get the knowledge. And that's how mystery cults worked. I mean, you have to be indoctrinated or inducted into the faith in order for you to get the information about the faith.
Yeah, you have to be committed to it.
Right.
Yeah. And that I just read, that you will be ever hearing part until, and in turn I would heal them. That's Isaiah chapter 6, verses 9 and 10.
Okay.
But blessed are your eyes because they see, and your ears because they hear. At this point, he's talking to the disciples, right?
Right.
And he's telling them they're blessed. For truly I tell you, many prophets and righteous people longed to see what you see, but did not see it, and to hear what you hear, but did not hear it. So he's reinforcing that they have special knowledge, special access. They can see and hear things that other people cannot. They're special, right?
Yes.
Listen then to what the parable of the sower means. When anyone hears the message about the kingdom and does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches away what was sown in their heart. This is the seed sown along the path. Okay, so if you hear the message but you don't get it, you don't understand, you're going to be the seed that's taken away by evil, which in this case is birds.
Demons. Demon birds.
Which is fair. That's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
The seed falling on rocky ground refers to someone who hears the word and at once receives it with joy. But since they have no root, they last only a short time. When trouble or persecution persecution comes because of the word, they quickly fall away. So these are the not real Christians.
Right. Those that who are persecuted by society and quickly give up God, Jesus, or whatever.
Those aren't true Christians. Right.
Hashtag TM trademark Christianity.
Yeah. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The seed falling among the thorns refers to someone who hears the word, but the worry of this life and the deceitfulness of wealth choke the word, making it unfruitful. Okay. I mean, that's fair, but I don't know. You also say, I guess it depends on how you define wealth here. Are they talking about monetary wealth here? Because before they were talking about those who have will have more. Are you just talking about knowledge there?
I don't know. It kind of feels like kink shaming. Maybe they want to get choked. You don't know, Jesus. Fuck.
We're going to move on. But the seed falling on good soil refers to someone who hears the word and understands it. Let me finish and then I have things to say. This is the one who produces a crop yielding 160 or 30 times what was sown. I don't know why we start at the high value and go downward, but whatever. If you hear the thing he just said before is people who hear it won't understand it unless he gives them special understanding, but they have to. Oh, he's saying they have good soil, so they believe already.
Right.
That's their good soil, is they already believe.
Well, what I take away from this, which I think Jesus is going to maybe explain the sower parable here in a second, but basically I feel like those that are good soil are those that will listen and believe.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to like work the ground. You don't have to do anything for that. You literally just have to sprinkle them with some Jesus shit and they'll believe it.
Not Jesus shit, Jesus seed.
Got it. So giggity. But those are those people. The people that are gullible, people that are easy to believe, that will easily believe this shit, are the ones that are the good soil. The ones that get choked out giggity are the ones that, you know, they start to believe at first, but then, you know, they start noticing some things, or some things happen in their life and it doesn't make a lot of sense with their new faith and all this other stuff, and so they stop believing, or their faith is not as solid as those that would just listen and believe. Right.
Basically, you have to have a mind that is like loose soil.
Yep. So Jesus can come on it.
Cool. You ready for another parable?
Yeah.
This one is about weeds. I hate weeds.
Oh, it's Jesus's weed shop. Should have put that in the intro.
Oh, you should not have put that in the intro. Or that would have been funny though.
Yeah.
Jesus told them another parable. This one's only in Matthew, by the way.
Okay.
Jesus told them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a man who sowed good seeds in his field, but while everyone was sleeping, his enemy came and sowed weeds among the wheat and went away. When the wheat sprouted and formed heads, then the weeds also appeared. The owner's servants came to him and said, "Sir, didn't you sow good seed in your field? Where then did the weeds come from?" "An enemy did this," he replied. This sounds very conspiratorial.
I know, this is reminding me of like election fraud claims. Yeah. It's like, damn it, how did I lose? I can't lose.
They brought ballots in the night.
An enemy did it. Satan came by and came all over my crop.
The servants asked him, "Do you want us to go and pull them up?" "No," he answered, "because while you were pulling the weeds, you may uproot the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. At that time, I will tell the harvesters, first collect the weeds and tie them in bundles to be burned, then gather the wheat and bring it into my barn."
Well, I mean, isn't the point of the weeds and why they're bad, like they take nutrients away from the other plants?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I don't understand this whole thing of, oh, no, just let the weeds grow. It'll be fine.
I think it depends on the crop, also maybe depends on the weed, and maybe depends on where it is. Like if you have a weed that's growing like, and their roots could be like intertwined with whatever got growing, maybe then that could be a problem. But if you've got like, you know how you have rows of crop and then you have like space in between, if the weeds are in between, there's no reason why you couldn't just pull those. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not a fucking farmer.
I mean, the way that it's generally depicted, maybe I feel like they just have like a bag of seeds and they go through a field and just sort of throw shit.
Yeah.
And so there's not exactly like
rows farming works.
Now we figured out better ways than just dumping shit on the ground.
Are you ready for Matthew to explain the parable of the weeds?
Oh, tell me about all this good weed shit there, Matthew.
Okay, so Jesus told that parable to the whole crowd, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Then he left the crowd and went into the house, and his disciples came to him and said, "Explain to us the parable of the weeds in the field."
To which Jesus then said, "You dumb fucks."
Seriously, these disciples are fucking idiots. Why did he pick them?
Well, well, the disciples being representatives of the Jewish people, they're supposed to be dumb fucks. Like in order for all of this to work, as far as the story goes and as far as the theology goes, the disciples have to be dumb fucks at every turn, because the Jewish people are seen as dumb fucks, like in light of worshiping God and all this other stuff, like how they've been portrayed in the Old Testament.
So they're seen as dumb from outsiders, but they're also seen as dumb from their God because they don't fucking get it.
Yeah, right.
They just can't win.
No, they can't. Not with this God.
And the Jesus and God seem so worried about fucking persecution, but they God persecuted his own people.
Oh yeah, several times.
So this is super weird.
Remember that fucking Sarlacc pit that he just popped up one day? I mean,
what about the Aaron sons in the fucking wrong fire? That was some bullshit.
He Hadoukened some fireballs up their ass.
Ridiculous. Okay, he answered, "The one who sowed the good seed is the Son of Man." Him.
That would be him.
Yeah. The field is the world, and the good seed stands for the people of the kingdom. So the Jews.
Yeah.
Right. The weeds are the people of the evil one, which is everyone else. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And the enemy who sows them is the devil. That's the neighbor who snuck in. Right.
Yeah. Sneaky.
The harvest is the end of the age, and the harvesters are angels. Okay, so at the end of time, he's going to tell the angels, go pick all of the bad ones, the weeds, all of the people who are not of the kingdom, tie them in bundles and throw them in the fire.
Mm-hmm. To burn.
To burn forever. Yeah. And then the angels will collect the good harvest of the good seed, the wheat, right?
Yeah. And that's the rapture.
Yeah. Which is interesting because that's now not Jews and it's Christians.
Well, yeah, I think the kingdom that's mentioned is not like the kingdom of like the Jews. Mm-hmm. I think the people of the kingdom are Christians. They are the believers.
Gotcha. In Jesus.
Right. In believers in Jesus. Yeah,
it's weird that you have these Jews that are believers in the God. They believe in the God and they practice and they do all the things they're supposed to do. But then they're a weed that's going to get tied up. Because even though when he's talking about, he says, the good seed stands for the people of the kingdom. Currently, the people of the king. Well, I guess previously, I guess I'm having trouble shifting to the New Testament because previously the people of the kingdom were Jews. But these are going to be Jewish Christians,
right? Who
are now the people of the kingdom, the good people of the kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
But it's now I guess fuck the Jews.
Well, no, so this is you gotta remember the context in which the Gospels are written in. Not Mark. Mark's Gospel was written as like a missionary sort of how-to guide, for apostles and stuff.
Well, this is in Matthew.
I know, I'm getting there. Matthew and Luke, both of them were busy sort of transforming these earthly stories to make them more palpable for like pagans and people that are not necessarily Jewish in origin. And so, that's why like in Matthew and Luke, those are the only ones with the virgin birth stories, is because the virgin birth is something that pagans would readily accept because they had already been exposed to gods coming down and having demigods with human women and all this other stuff.
Sure, but my question is the good seed.
Mm-hmm.
The good seed is Jewish Christians, not Jews. The Jews now are part of the bad seed, correct?
Well, yeah, the Jews would be part of the bad seed, but I think the open language here as being the people of the kingdom means that it's not necessarily Jews or Jewish Christians. It's just those that are Christians or those that are come to believe in this new religion.
Sure, which means Jews are bad seed.
Right.
Because if they're not Christian, they're Jewish or pagan or something else. Like the good seed is Christians, which at this point in time, most Christians, because this is still very small, this is early on in Christianity.
Right.
And so Christianity is fairly small right now.
Yeah.
So, and most people who are Christian or become Christian are Jewish people becoming Christian because they already have this. This is based on their scripture.
Right.
Okay. So, but like Jewish people who don't become Christian, they are people of the evil one now. The God's chosen people, the Jews, are now people of the evil one. Would that not be accurate?
Right. Yeah, because even in the Old Testament, God didn't see all of his chosen people as being like, that he doesn't see all of them as being part of the remnant or part of like that final selection.
Sure. But they would never have been considered people of the evil one. They were his children. They were still his people. Right. Even the ones that were killed, they were his.
This is definitely othering kind of language in that it paints people of this former group as being of the evil one because they didn't transfer over.
I mean, that's how I'm reading it. I'm just seeing, is that how you're reading it too? That at this point, Jews would be part of the evil one. They are no longer God's chosen people.
Right. I agree.
Okay, so harvesters are angels. As the weeds are pulled up and burned in the fire, so it will be at the end of the age. The Son of Man will send out his angels, and they will weed out of his kingdom everything that causes sin and all who do evil. So what if you don't cause sin or do evil and you just don't believe?
Well, so if you don't believe, then you do evil. Like the whole idea here is that like the whole evil idea is not evil in the sense that we normally take it in. Evil in this sense is basically sin, which is a transgression against God. And so that doesn't necessarily map to any kind of moral like compass or moral foundation.
It just makes it seem like everything that causes sin and all who do evil, those are active terms. Those are people who actively do things. It doesn't have this phrase here, the way it's written, doesn't give any kind of indication that it has anything to do with belief. This is an active behavioral type of thing. So it seems I feel like because of how it's written, this would not apply to just not believing. Because I mean, maybe they would argue that not believing causes sin. Even if you don't, like not believing can lead to sin, like it's a gateway drug or something.
Well, I mean, if you don't believe in the God, then you're liable to do things against God's wishes that would be against God's commandments or God's wishes, and so therefore is a sin and is quote unquote evil in the eyes of God.
But what if you don't? What if you do good things? Like, what if you're charitable and you kind of live by these kinds of things, kind of not really because you believe, but because ethically you think some of these things are good?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it paints people that are in the out group as evil just by default.
Oh, okay.
Kind of thing.
Well, the angels will throw them into the blazing furnace where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Then the righteous will shine like the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Whoever has ears, let them hear.
So apparently,
and those who don't have ears, fuck off.
Yeah, there will be a weeping and gnashing of teeth. This is one of the most cited, I think, like hell verses. As far as like street preachers and people that are like the hellfire kind of people, it's like there's a weeping and gnashing of teeth, and
it's so annoying. Like it's the fear-based tactic is just, it's toxic, it's abusive. Mm-hmm. And I really dislike the whole fire and brimstone stuff because it is just so abusive to people.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, we have another parable. This one seems like super common sense, but I don't know. You ready to figure it out?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about lamps.
Nice.
Yeah. He said to them, "Do you bring in a lamp to put it under a bowl or a bed?" Why would you put a lamp under a bowl?
I don't know.
Or under your bed? That just seems like a fire hazard, especially right now because you don't have like electricity.
Yeah.
Instead, don't you put it on its stand? For whatever is hidden is meant to be disclosed, and whatever is concealed is meant to be brought out into the open. If anyone has ears to hear, let them hear. Consider carefully what you hear, he continued. With this measure you use, it will be measured to you and even more. Whoever has will be given more, and whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken from them. So he's saying shine a light on stuff.
Right.
Right. So you have a lamp, you have a light, you are a light, and you need to shine a light. You don't sit under a bowl. You don't sit in your house and say nothing. You don't just stay under the bed. Like you shine, you go up on a stand and you expose everything. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Just whip it out.
I realize how that sounded now that you said that. Sorry. Also, this is still contradictory to the idea that even if you tell somebody something, they're not going to hear it unless you've allowed them to hear it. So this seems a little ridiculous, but okay. I do think this is interesting though. With the measure you use, it will be measured to you. So if you will be judged by with the measure by which you judge people.
Yeah.
Okay. So, which, I mean, you're technically not supposed to judge, but I mean, that's what it's saying. Like, if you are telling people it's wrong to do X and you do X, you'll be judged for doing X because you said doing X was wrong. This is kind of like a don't be a hypocrite kind of thing, I believe.
Yeah.
Which I think this Bible verse is super important for Christians. A lot of Christians do not understand this particular parable.
Yeah.
Because the hypocrisy amongst them is
palpable.
Is a lot. Okay. And we have the repeat of whoever has will be given more and whoever does not have even what they have will be taken.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand the purpose of this, but here we are. Are you ready to talk about more seeds?
Oh, yes. Please continue with the gardening podcast.
Okay. The last parable, just so you know, the parable of the lighted lamp was in Mark and Luke. This parable of the seed growing is just in Mark. Okay. He also said, this is what the kingdom of God is like. A man scatters seed on the ground. Night and day, whether he sleeps or gets up, the seed sprouts and grows, though he does not know how. All by itself, the soil produces grain, first the stalk, then the head, then the full kernel in the head. As soon as the grain is ripe, he puts the sickle to it because the harvest has come.
How is this a parable? I mean, honestly, this seems like a sort of like simple version of the seed of the sower.
Yeah, I think this is let's see, was the sower is in Mark chapter 4. This is in
Mark chapter.
This is also in Mark chapter 4. This is after. So I agree. I think basically what he's saying is that if you scatter the seed on good soil, you scatter the seed on the ground and you keep scattering the seed, which is basically telling the good news, right? Scattering the seed is telling the good news, right?
Right.
So you're telling the good news and it will, no matter what you do, if you tell the good news, it will grow, it will sprout and grow. No matter what else you do.
Well, yeah, but he says, though he does not know how. I mean, we know how plants grow. We also know how.
I'm not talking about plants.
No, I was in the middle.
Sorry.
We also know how people can reinforce, bad ideas. They can indoctrinate themselves. Like you can spread this message to them and they will, like, we understand how people can do those kinds of things.
We do now. Maybe at that time they didn't.
No, but if God's omniscient, he shouldn't have said this particular.
I mean, God, but he's not talking about God. He's talking about a person, though a person, lowercase h, does not know how. So he's not talking about God.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Next parable. This one's in Matthew and Mark. It's the mustard seed. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Mustard seed is really good in marinades with like chicken or beef.
Yeah.
Yeah, mustard seed is really good. My parents got me some mustard seed when they were in Germany, and it is wonderful. Just thought I'd throw that out there. I mean, I think mustard seed is underrated. I think a lot of people don't use mustard seed and stuff, but they should. It's really good.
Okay, yeah. I don't really have an opinion.
I don't really give a shit about mustard. He told them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took and planted in his field. Though it is the smallest of all seeds. I don't believe that's true. Yet when it grows, it is the largest of the garden plants and becomes a tree, so that the birds come and perch in its branches. So I think the point of this is that even the smallest planted seed, or even the smallest bit of word that you pass on, can grow into something big and beautiful and feed others, right? The birds will come and perch in its branches. It can care for others. And so.
Right. Yeah.
So there we go. We also have a parable about yeast. So we make bread. Is that what happens here?
Maybe. It kind of depends on the kind of yeast that we're talking about here. If it's an infection, then it's probably not good, but
He told them still another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like yeast that a woman took and mixed into about 60 pounds of flour until it worked all through the dough.
Okay.
So
does that mean that it just like fully saturates people?
Well, so you put yeast in all of this flour and you have to work it through. You have to, I mean, if you're just if you look at baking bread, you put a little bit of yeast in. I mean, you don't just mix yeast with flour. That's not how fucking bread bread is made. You can't make a dough with just yeast and flour. You have to have some sort of liquid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Generally milk or water, depending on what kind of, anyway, you have to work the yeast you have to work it all the way through. It has to be mixed well. And then once your yeast is mixed through the entire, once your dough is completely, I guess, homogeneous and you've got the yeast all spread out through all of the dough, it will all rise.
Okay.
Maybe that's what it's getting at. You need to work this message through all so that of course, he's not interested in all rising. So I don't really know what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Anyway, we don't understand, honey, because our ears are closed and our eyes are closed and, we're dumb.
Right.
We have another one in Matthew only about a hidden treasure. Oh, this sounds fun. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
The kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hidden in a field. Well, that seems ridiculous. If you want everybody to go to the kingdom of heaven, why don't you just make it obvious?
Well, yeah, I don't know why they gotta hide it like a treasure in a field.
I don't understand. When a man found it, he hid it again. And then in his joy, he went and sold all he had and bought that field. So the dude wants it all for himself. So he found it, but he hid it and then bought the land and didn't tell anybody else about it. This doesn't even seem like it makes any sense at all.
I don't understand how it's a parable. I mean, obviously we're on the outside here, so we don't have the secret teachings about it. But it kind of feels like it's a parable about, hey, if you find the kingdom of heaven, hoard it for yourself, then give all your shit away so you can get into heaven.
But he sold all his shit so he could buy the field.
Mm-hmm.
But it was hidden in the field. Why don't you just fucking take it?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't understand the purpose of this one, but okay. You got anything else about that one?
I don't know what it's trying to tell us.
Are you ready to talk about pearls?
Sure.
Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant looking for fine pearls. When he found one of great value, he went away and sold everything he had and bought it.
Well, I feel like this one is talking about the kingdom of heaven being so valuable that when you find it, you just want to shed your life of everything else that'll prevent you from having it.
Okay. Which would apply to the last one, I guess.
I mean, I guess.
The point of both of these seems the same.
But I mean, with the field kind of thing, I mean, I feel like you would just take the fucking treasure. You won't worry about buying the field. Where'd you find that at? It was in the ditch. I don't know.
The point is, I think he hid it and he didn't tell anybody else about it. Because if he had told somebody, maybe they wouldn't have sold the field.
Right.
But that's not how the kingdom of heaven is supposed to work.
Deception. The kingdom of heaven.
So that's why I really don't understand that one at all. But yeah, I mean, I guess I understand the idea of shedding everything material, but so you can buy, if the kingdom of heaven is the pearl, but I don't understand why you have to sell all your shit to get into heaven. That doesn't make any sense. You don't want to leave anything to your kids to make sure they're cool or I don't know.
No, fuck them kids.
Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I mean, inheritance is a real thing in the Bible. In the Bible, inheritance is discussed significantly. So I don't understand why it's sell everything. Okay. We have another one in Matthew, the parable of the net. Once again, the kingdom of heaven is like a net that was let down into a lake and caught all kinds of fish. When it was full, the fishermen pulled it up on the shore. Then they sat down and collected all the good fish in baskets, but threw the bad away. This is how it will be at the end of the age. The angels will come and separate the wicked from the righteous and throw them into the blazing furnace where there'll be weeping and gnashing of teeth. This sounds exactly like the weed story.
Mm-hmm.
The weeds and the wheat.
Yep.
This is the same exact parable with a net and good and bad fish.
Yep.
Okay. Parable of the treasures. This is also in Matthew. Have you understood all these things? Jesus asked. Yes, they replied. They didn't guarantee it. He said to them, therefore, every teacher of the law who has become a disciple in the kingdom of heaven is like the owner of a house who brings out of his storeroom new treasures as well as old. Okay, so you become a disciple.
Mm-hmm.
It's like being the owner of a house and you bring new and old shit out of your storeroom.
So you have new teachings from Jesus and you also have the old teachings.
Okay, and they're both treasures.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, as we know in the Gospels, Jesus is very much adherent to the Mosaic. Holds the Mosaic.
Sure. And he even says, I have not come to abolish the old law.
Yeah. Well, he will say that once we get there.
Oh, we haven't gotten there yet. He's come to uphold it. I thought we did that already.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe we have. I don't remember necessarily, but we've said a lot of shit.
I'm fairly sure we did that already. But anyway, that's what he says. He's not here to abolish the old law, but to fulfill it. Okay, so let's talk about how these parables fulfill prophecy. And this is in Matthew and in Mark. With many similar parables, which we just saw, right? Mm-hmm. Jesus spoke the word to them as much as they could understand. He did not say anything to them without using a parable, which seems like a really ineffective way to communicate something so important, right?
Right.
But when he was alone with his own disciples, he explained everything. So was fulfilled what was spoken through the prophet. And this was in Psalms 78. Mm-hmm. Okay. I will open my mouth in parables. I will utter things hidden since the creation of the world.
Hidden.
Mm-hmm. But only to 12 people.
Right.
Everybody else can fuck off. And that's all for the parable section here. Mm-hmm. Next week, we are going to move into miracles.
Yay, miracles.
Yes, we have a whole podcast about Jesus's miracles. He's going to challenge his followers. He's going to calm the sea. We're going to have somebody who is demon possessed, and he's going to deal with that. There's going to be a dude that begs Jesus to heal him, mm-hmm. or not to heal him, sorry, to heal his daughter, right?
Okay.
A woman is going to touch his garment, which one would think would be like, I don't know, if you like touch somebody's holy garment, maybe that you would get healing or something, but that did not happen. So we'll figure out what happens there. That guy who asked that his daughter get healed.
Yeah.
She died, but don't worry about that because, Jesus raises her from the dead. So we have some resurrection shit going on. We've got some blind men being healed, mute being made to speak. But despite all of these things, Jesus is rejected.
What?
In his own hometown, no less, hometown boy, and they reject him.
Bitches.
Yeah. And they're super offended about it. Yeah. So that's the kind of shit that Jesus has to deal with from his fucking friends and family.
Fuck those people. Yeah. I swear to Christ.
So anyway, that's what's going on next week in the Bible.
Awesome. Well, if you heathens want to hear about all that kind of good shit going on next week, then y'all will need to tune in then. Before you head out, though, why don't you go down below and let us know what you thought about this Bible podcast down in the comments. And hey, while you're down there, why don't you smash that like button and subscribe if you like this kind of podcast.
And don't forget to stand up and use your voice.
Bye, heathens.
Bye, y'all.